Hey, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a um uh review video of my stocks to watch that I gave everybody on January 1st. So it was a super follow stocks to watch video. I usually reserve that only for my super follow group, but it was the first of the year, so I figured I would share that with everybody. And this is going to be a review of what we talked about from my exact notes from that day, and see how things turned out. All right, so before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. Now, I may hold positions, some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, so this is the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're not going to spend a lot of time on any one name, but let's just see how things turned out, okay? So starting from the beginning, we talked about XLE, and helps if I can get in the right screen here. XLE. By the way, what did the SPX look like? I should start from here. This was the last day of the year. This was the first day. So this is the candle that we were looking at, right? So we didn't see any of this. So all we knew was this candle right there on the 30th of December, right? Which was actually a very bearish look to the market. That's what we were coming into the year with, a bearish look to the market. Okay. So XLE was an area that we were looking at. And since the 30th, it's done okay. It has not broken out yet, but it's done, it's held up pretty good as far as that goes. So XLE was good, and I said OIH was within XLE the best looking sector, and that has broken up. And then I went into finished up my top down, and the names I gave were Schlumberger, looks very good. I gave Tenaris. It's actually starting to break out now. Had a little pullback and then started to break out. Valaris, right? Beautiful looking chart right there. I gave Rig. Awesome chart looking, just totally killer chart. FTI I gave that day. Again, this one looks like it's setting up and may still be ready to go. CHX, very strong off the bottom, right? I gave it again. This is where I gave the name right here. So it's been very, very strong. And OII, let's see what OI looks like. Oh, nice looking chart too. Again, strong uptrend, looks good. So those were all the names within. Again, I liked XLE, but I liked OIH within that sector. So I like the OIH subsector, and then individual names. Love it. All right. The second group I gave, I said I like XLF coming into the year. Again, so looking at December 30th, this is the candle. And this is what's happened since. I said within XLF, I liked the insurance industry, KIE. Again, it still looks very strong, trying to move higher. And I gave individual names within that sector. I liked Allstate. It's kind of wobbly, hasn't been great. I like ACGL. This one, for the most part, moved sideways. It's kind of still setting up, really. That one's moved sideways. GL, again, more of a sideways look to it. AFL, sideways look, and then Travelers, TRD. Again, it's done since the 30th. It's done well, right? But it hasn't been skyrocketing higher, but done pretty good. So, the insurance industry and XLF look better. There's other places I'd rather be right now within XLF probably than the insurance industry, but this is definitely participating. So it wasn't terrible picks. I liked industrials, right? XLI. We were coming again into the new year, and this was the candle that we were watching, right? So it's done pretty good since. And I liked ITA, the aerospace and defense sector, best. And that one's been kind of sideways since. And I gave only two names in this one. I gave Boeing, super strong name, and I gave HWM. And again, since the 30th, which was this candle right here, it's done okay. It's done good. It's an uptrend. You didn't lose any money in it, which is positive, right? And those were the only two names I gave in the industrials. I liked healthcare, XLV. And XLV has not done unbelievably well. So it's down some since I looked at this, not a terrible amount, but down some. And I like the pharmaceutical industry, PPH, and that's actually done well. So as we drill down into the strongest sectors, you can see the big difference, right? PPH looks good. I gave 3 names within PPH. MRK, Merck, more of a sideways look to it. Novartis, NVO, or I'm sorry, Novo Nordisk. This one did have that big pullback. We gave it in, what was the 30th? 30th was here, right? So pulled back, and now it's back up to basically the same spot. So sideways. Then HLN was the third name. This one is really still setting up and actually looks kind of actionable right now. I was in it a little bit back here, and then I just kind of was worried about it. So then I cut it. I may actually re-enter it. We'll see how things go. But again, this one looks pretty good still. This HLN. All right. And then I thought materials by far was the best. Okay. So the first was, right around here. This was the 30th. And you see materials has done extremely well. And I liked actually a few different spots. I liked the steel names. Steel names have been amazing. And within that, I Vail. I mean, very, very strong, right? I liked Rio Tinto, very, very strong. And I liked Tenaris, TS. This one, it's kind of actionable still, right? But let me see, the 30th was right there. So basically same spot it was on the 30th. So most of those steel names looks really good. The ETF also looks good. I like gold miners back then, GDX. GDX has been on a tear, right? Very strong look to GDX. Within GDX, I gave a whole bunch of names here. I gave AEM, strong look to it. Again, it's kind of still actionable right now, to be honest. Wheat and precious metals, WPM. That one has already broken out. GFI, I liked. Very strong off the bottom over here. I liked AU. Strong name. RGLD. Strong name. AUY. This one is still setting up, but it looks like it's in a position to move higher. Lots of accumulation. And those were the gold miners I like. So gold miners, that was a good call. And I mentioned Gunner without any specific names in there because it's kind of a mesh of materials and oil stocks and some fertilizer stocks and things of that nature. But Gunner was a pretty good one off the bottom over here. If you were looking for that blended type ETF, and I mentioned copper ETF, COPX, without mentioning any specific names in this particular ETF, and copper has been one of the best performers out there. This was the candle we saw. And it's just went from 35 to 41, right? So very, very strong move come the beginning of the year. So those were the names that that really stuck out to me. So again, pretty good for the first few weeks of the year. Again, this was my stocks to watch. I usually make this type of video just for my super follows, drilling it down from the sector to subsector to the individual names that look great. I also add in my regular stocks to watch names I share with everybody. That's in there as well as other things that I'm seeing in the markets, right? So I usually have it broken down to 2 or 3 parts, and I give them a much more extended video. And this was a recap of that video that I shared with everybody. Again, on the first, whether you're a super follow or not. If you want to become a super follow, at AlphaCharts365 on Twitter, it's $10 a month, super cheap. I think there's a ton of value. You get a market note twice a week. You get stock setups. You get example trades. You get the special stocks to watch video, and you get just my thoughts and reactions and things of that nature throughout the week as well as other things. So if you're interested, find me on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. Sign up for the super follow group. If not, I appreciate you watching my videos on YouTube. And again, a pretty good start to the year so far. So hopefully this will continue. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.